Hey, we're two Star Wars nerds, and we had this really cool idea that we would basically take certain characters that are close either in family or in relationship, and we do similarities against them. So what we're going to do in this video in particular is we're going to look at the similarities between Anakin and Luke Skywalker, father and son. And actually, to help us, we asked quite a few friends to just kind of share some thoughts that they have. So we'll share our own as well, but enjoy the video.
I always found it so interesting how Anakin was tasked with bringing balance to the Force, but could not find balance within himself. Luke, on the other hand, because the Jedi Order and the old ways were gone, is given the opportunity to find that balance within himself. Certainly not an easy journey, but Luke succeeds. As parents, we always want our children to have what we couldn't. In this case, Luke was given the chances his father never had.
This is TMoney, and a similarity between Anakin and Luke that I really enjoy is how their stories parallel each other. From them both growing up on Tatooine, to Luke blowing up the Death Star while Anakin blew up the Trade Federation Lucahulk in Phantom Menace, them both losing hands, and many more, both obvious and subtle. Another aspect I enjoy that they both share is their love for the ones they care about, and their drive to do anything to save them. Seeing how it is the downfall for Anakin in the prequels, while it saved Luke in the original trilogy, is so well done.
Before we get into it, I just want to say thank you so much to two Star Wars nerds for letting me on. It's greatly appreciated. You know I love you guys. So yesterday on their Discord, they posted a link in the announcements, or just a post asking people if they wanted to be a part of their newest video. And they want us to just talk about Luke and Anakin parallels, and Anakin's probably my all-time favorite Star Wars character, so of course I had to come on and talk about him. He means a lot to me. I also love Luke Skywalker, and I'm going to share one of my favorite parallels, and I don't know if this is really going to count as like a true parallel, or however you want to say it, but we're going to go with it anyway. We're going to roll with it. So my favorite Luke and Anakin parallel is the one we get in Return of the Jedi, when Luke uses Force Choke on those Gamorrean guards. And the reason why I love that so much is because, of course, throughout the Clone Wars, Anakin used Force Choke all the time. Darth Vader's favorite Force power is Force Choke. He uses it to choke Krennic, basically anyone that stands in his way or pisses him off. And the reason why I like that so much is because it shows Luke kind of tapping into the dark side a bit, but he's not really tempted by the dark side. He's more just using it to subdue an enemy, whereas Anakin would use Force Choke to call upon his anger and his darker emotions, and then he would just let it out, like he did with Poggle in the Clone Wars. And I just really like that parallel between the two. It shows one used the Force, or Force Choke, for anger, almost greed, whereas the other used it to just subdue an enemy. He used it to find the quickest possible solution to just get into Jabba's palace to rescue his friends. I think it's a good parallel and yet a really good contrast between the two. Both are very similar, but yet in the end, almost very different characters. Luke was able to avoid the dark side, whereas Anakin gave into it. And I think that's just the beauty of Star Wars, you know what I'm saying?
I think my favorite similarities between Luke and Anakin is their hearts. They're just so both passionate, they're both loving, and they just have these big hearts, and they both want to help people, and they care a lot about people. And that caring about people gets them into trouble. You know, even thinking of Luke leaving Dagobah early, and you see Anakin time and time again sacrifice himself for his friends, and they're willing to do whatever they need to do to save their friends and their family. And you see where that leads Anakin, that he's pushed to the dark side to save Padme, and ironically he ends up losing her, whereas Luke pushes and is able to actually then bring his father back. He's fighting for his father. So I just think it's a beautiful circle where it starts with Anakin, and then he transitions to Darth Vader, but then Luke comes in and Luke brings them back. But their hearts and their passion are so similar, and I love watching the movies and seeing moments where I'm like, that is just like Luke, or that is just like Anakin, because I think George just did such a great job showing father and son, really, even though they weren't raised, or Luke wasn't raised by Anakin. There's some generational qualities from Anakin and Luke, and like you can tell that that's his son. So I just think it's a beautiful picture, and I love that Luke is the one to bring Anakin back. It's so beautiful.
And even as you were saying that, I was thinking about Anakin and Padme leaving Naboo really when they weren't supposed to, and then also Luke leaving Dagobah. And one encounter led to Anakin finding his mother and led this whole descent into the dark side.
Yeah.
And then the other led Luke to his father, where he gets his hand cut off. And
just like his father, by his father.
Yeah, and he throws himself basically into a suicidal fit, hoping that he would just not live anymore. And, but then what happens, it's like at the lowest points in their journey, they do take different directions. So while Anakin descends further into the dark side, Luke becomes the best thing that his father never did in his life until his redemption. So I find that similarity very fascinating, and then it just makes the redemption that much sweeter.
And Luke and Anakin are two of my favorite characters in Star Wars, and they're so important. They're so important in just story writing and movies in general. And I think George knew what he was doing, and it was very intentional that there would be so many similarities between the two. So, hey, we hope you enjoyed this video. We had a really great group of people that we love. They're really awesome people. So if you would, go subscribe to them in the description below. We've linked all of their channels. And if you're so inclined as well, go ahead and join the Discord. All these people are in there, and we just have a great time just chatting it up about Star Wars. But hey, we are two Star Wars nerds, and may the Force be with you always.